Hello and welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft 360 Season 2, Episode 100. This is probably one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever had for my series, or my channel so far, is the first series to actually reach 100. Now, a few things I want to do this episode, and I've already kind of marked them out. One is I'm probably going to start with the very first, I guess, coin making. And one of the simplest ways to do that, I don't want to look at him just in case, is to right click with these, and you can actually adjust what you have here. And these will adjust for, like, what type of coin you'll have. Now, you can see that these are like large coins. You can actually get relatively small coins. The first one we're probably going to make is the Numus, which is a late Roman coin. It was a copper coin that was designed to basically be around 7,200th of a solidus. It was actually designed to be more of a 6,000th, but unfortunately, due to most records, it seems to have leveled out more around the 7,200. I'm actually going to have it be 7,600 because, it kind of moved between 6,000 and 12,000, which is not ideal. Right now, I'm probably going to make them at about 0.5, so there's about 100 each. Their name is going to be Numus. And the design, honestly, I'm not good at drawing faces, and it's probably one of the few things I really just cannot ever get right. So, and luckily, these aren't permanent until you actually mark them as permanent. I'm trying to go for a face, but it is not likely to end well. I probably want to bring this one back. Oh, let's go with this. Nope, wrong eye. I was originally trying to make the hair go this way. Yeah, I kind of like it that way, but I'll have to adjust this slightly. Because I was actually trying to go for, like, hair being like this. I wanted to put a nose there, but I don't think I can. Some weird potato person. That's this is not my finest image here. You know what? Honestly, I'm just gonna go with my normal symbol. This is the symbol I usually use for anything that I cannot. If I have to draw a face, I instead do a different symbol. I'm apparently very bad at drawing, and I understand that I'm artistically challenged. So I already understand that. I'm just glad that I don't have to keep these as permanent marks. Now the coins themselves are permanent, and these are unique to the actual coin type. So you can't actually you can actually use this for a multiplayer. In a sense, it can be used for multiplayer, so you can actually create a currency system. And there we go. In fact, I might do that, just to make it look a little bit more even for me. Because I think that's how I designed it last time. So we're going to create the Numus. Now, you see that it has a slight mark, or blue mark, on the bottom of it. It can no longer be, I think it could be, yeah, it can be copied. So you can create multiple sets of these, in case you want to have like a mint or something. But what you do with these, and I specifically have these designed as the Roman coins because they're a lot more statistically accurate. and I have a better like record of a few of them, so I can actually make a few of them. So we have this. What we need is a coin blank or a flan, and we're going to start with copper, because copper is probably the easiest one I can do, if I remember correctly. It's one of the easier ones to deal with. I actually want to take a quick double check, because I'm going to make a handful of these, or at least try. What you do is you put a single ingot in, and yeah, the shrink, I can actually get pretty accurate with this one. The shrink, I think, is one of the harder ones to deal with, but I should be able to do it. No guarantees. But I have a kind of an understanding of how to make it. Nope, not what I want. And I'm just going to toss these in. And so we're just going to have a really hot furnace, and we should be able to produce a few of these. Now we're going to go with the Numus Follis Silica, I think is how it's pronounced. And the next one is a little bit harder for me to pronounce it because it's kind of a weird one. Milliance is probably how I'm going to pronounce that. And then you have the Solidus, which is the gold version of the coin. Now the Numus was originally designed to be a 1/6000th of a Solidus, even though it ended up not being very accurate to that depiction. I'm probably going to have to write these in a book at some point, just so I can have a pretty accurate description of these. There we go. And unfortunately the rain does kind of hinder my heating, but not really much what I can do about that. This episode also will be slightly longer, just because I have to produce a few coins to make it feel like it's worthwhile. I'm pretty sure Bright 3 is the welding, and that's when I'm going to start minting these, or at least trying to make them. This one's my key that I can actually tell which one's going to work. And I do have to kind of do this in a slightly more methodical manner. Okay, I need to... Oh, what am I doing? I need to hit, shrink, heavy hit. Okay. I think it's hit. Okay. I'm already kind of seeing how this one's going to have to be. I kind of really don't like this method. This minigame just doesn't seem like it would be very beneficial in all regards. It's one of the things that's always kind of annoyed me with TerraFirmaCraft, is I just don't feel like it's very smooth with that. I mean, I can kind of understand it at times, but I just feel like it's kind of at that point where I don't feel like it should have been an actual, like, I don't feel like it should have been that way. Okay, now, hit, shrink, okay. Nope. My hammer broke. I forgot that I needed a hammer. And this is one of the things I really hate about this, is I'm probably just going to skip ahead, because people don't need to see this. This is one of the things I really hate about this setup, so we're just going to skip ahead. I'll see you when I have 5 lands. Okay, and I'm back. I got just about everything done. I've kind of memorized the setup, how I do this. Okay, I need to go light hit, hard hit, 2. Hooray. Yeah, I had to kind of memorize how to do that. I mean, it works pretty well once you get used to it. But, yeah. I think, what is my smithing level now? General smithing, still novice, oh well. But yes, now we have the Numas 0.5 ounce 100 coin setup, and we can actually produce these. And it takes one at a time, and it's going to mint. That's supposed to oh, it's because it's continuously minting them. There's still more in there. So you mint even more. And I'm pretty sure you can't put an ingot in here. I'm just going to confirm this, but I can almost guarantee you that it requires the flan. And this doesn't get degraded or anything like that. Yeah, you can't put a flan, you have to put the flan in. There's no other way. Yeah, that's how you produce a currency. And it's easy enough to do this. And you produce it a couple times. Mint. And hooray, we now have 200 Numas copper coins. Now, the way I'm going to be doing this is, I'm eventually going to have to make a new character that will have to mint these. And the way I'm going to probably do that is, I've already devised kind of a system in my head, because I have to be able to purchase something in the first place. So I'm going to have to probably make a gold coin early on, and then I'm going to have to purchase the graphite with gold. I'm probably going to make it require quite a few gold, so yeah. My guy's not going to be that rich. Pretty much, it's going to cost 2 gold ingots to have the full amount of graphite to begin with, and that should be everything from this one. And that should allow the initial, I guess, coin depletion, or the required coin depletion needed to be, I guess, start the economy. Move, mint, everything's good. And you can actually produce a lot of smaller coins. It's actually more advised to produce the smaller coins if you're going to be running an economy. But the bigger coins obviously will have a lot more value to them. And once the coins are made, they're really only used for a currency. But they work very well with the merchant mod. So now we have 500 copper coins, the Numas. And that's basically going to be our quote-unquote treasury until eventually we're probably going to need to convert these into some sort of economy. And eventually I won't be the one that's actually producing the economy. This is just until I can actually start producing the original, I guess, currency. And I'll probably spend the first currency to get the graphite. And eventually we'll be able to sell and purchase, and it should be a back and forth process. I should probably start building at the next original, like, bazaar or whatever you want to call it, the market. And that actually might be something I want to do today, just since we're starting the economy anyway. Merchant's mod, I think it was just the stall, yeah. It's just called the stall. Recipe, you can actually use any cloth here, and I actually didn't know that. I thought it was just burlap, but apparently it can be any cloth. We can get the lumber easily, we have the book, but what we need is the warehouse, which is right here. These ones are a little bit easier to work with. They're just these. And this more or less will eventually be a little bit easier to work with. I do need to have, I think, a steel anvil before I can start producing any platinum coins. But until then, we're pretty much stuck with the standard gold, silver, copper, and bronze. And there's actually going to be 2 silver coins, which are the millionants and the silica. I'm just going to call it silica because it has the QUA, which I'm pretty sure has the K sound. I'm not an expert in Roman currencies or anything like that, so I don't know. But what I do know is, what was I making? I wanted to make the initial stuff to start producing an actual currency. I also need to have another one of these because I do need a... I think I need to right-click with this on a warehouse. So I'm going to need another one of these anyway. We're also going to need the cloth, which is in here. I made the jute just specifically for this, but I ended up realizing I didn't need that. Toss that there. We need leather. We need paper. And there we go. Paper. Book. Book and quill. I don't have the wood. Okay. But I do have the... Oh. Should I make it out of a nice wood? I might want to go with... Oak's a pretty nice wood. Yeah, I think I'll go with oak. It seems like it would be a nice wood to work with. So, we need to make this the oak chest, but instead have a feather in it, and it becomes the warehouse. Warehouses, I will have to make some sort of building specifically to be the warehouse. But until then, we'll put this here. And I'll actually show you how this works, because we're probably going to need to originally make something of it. I'm not sure what else to do with it, but yeah. I need book. This makes the stall. And the stall is actually a relatively nice structure. You do need to have a warehouse to originally make it, and I could probably make a like a little stall right here. In fact, I could probably convert this into the initial market. I just want to show it. You can actually right-click this. This requires the warehouse book, which unfortunately we don't have a warehouse book, so that's just going to have to be made eventually. Oh. What is that? Oh, interesting. Yeah, you can click to limit a specific amount of items to be sold or bought, or in a sense you can, you have to basically have a warehouse to sell objects. And the warehouse, I'm pretty sure, I could place it here, and this does almost nothing. But this does allow you to put a book in here, and allows you to sign it. We're not going to do that, this is just for a test. But once the warehouse is set up, you can put chests and pretty much any container inside there, including sealed barrels. And you can actually sell objects from that warehouse. And I think there's a 5-block distance limit. But until then, yeah, that's basically how it's going to be designed. And the warehouse, I'm pretty sure doesn't need to have anywhere specific, but I'm going to probably keep it nearby. You can also have a multiple warehouses supplying different stalls, but you can have multiple. Oh no, you can have one warehouse that supplies multiple stalls, but you can't have the opposite because you can only put one warehouse slot in here. But say if I wanted to sell this, and it crashed the game. I'll see you in a bit. And I'm back. I had to break this thing. It did cost me the seaweed, but that actually shows that if you try to put something in when that stall doesn't have a warehouse, apparently it crashes. So that's That's good to know before I lose a object permanently. The seaweed wasn't really much of a sacrifice, and I kind of had a sneaking suspicion that it might have some sort of incident with it. I wasn't exactly sure, but I'm glad I went safe and decided to go with just a piece of seaweed. Good news is it kept just about everything else, and the stall was still there, so everything's good. Oh, terrified me for a second. We should still have our coins. Hooray! Everything's good. We're still rich-ish. Unfortunately, I think 500 is not enough to even equal a single gold. And eventually we're going to give away our rights to have the mint, and yeah, that's just how I have this set up. I'm trying to make the thing, or the series, at least have some sort of purpose for a currency system. But this is originally designed more towards trying to have a multiplayer setup. Good dog. You are still... I've finally decided that this dog's never going to heal. This dog can never heal. No matter how much damage is healed, it never heals. So, that sucks. The wolf will also never fight for us, which is disappointing, but her pups will. So, that's something to look forward to. Maybe get some wolves at some point. But that'll be for the very distant future. As you see, fall is already starting to hit us, even though it's technically winter now. So, fun. And our little lumber barrel. There's really not much else to be done in this episode. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed watching, like and subscribe for more. Have a nice day. See you in the next episode. We have our first, economy system being built. So, things should start actually working a little bit better for us. Hopefully. And everything seems to be slowly falling back into place. So yeah, I'll see ya. Bye. Thank you for watching. For more content, check out my channel. If you wish to support my channel, check out my Patreon. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for updates.